It's like, it's the best part of the rib. No fuss, no muss when you eat it. You get a bark all the way around it. You get the crispy from the rendered fat that's on it. So I figured I gotta try it. So we're doing rib fingers. Got a rack of baby backs here. And what I'm gonna do, I know you don't see me put pork on my board too often without something with it, but it's just one of those days, you know? So we're gonna go through. I'm gonna pop up my middle here without trying to destroy it like I just did. Like that. Pull off. Oh man, we had a rip. That's my fault. All right, so we got our membrane gone. Now we need to take the bones out. Now I've deboned a couple of racks in my day for, you know, rib sandwiches, all that other good stuff. So what I'm gonna do is I'm going to just slice along this bone right here. Yes, I'm starting in the middle. I'm gonna come around this side over here. Now I have that jumping off point, and I am just going to follow this bone right along this back side. We already got our rib cut through here and our rib cut through here. So now I could just bring that blade right along the bone, like so. And we got minimal meat left on that bone. So what I'm gonna do is I wanna debone these first, and then I will cut them up. Because then that way we get the top of the rib, we get all that meat, you know what I mean? And we're not left with a whole bunch of particles that we're eating. I want them to be nice, thick, fat, juicy rib fingers. Now, I know you can order rib fingers, but I can only assume, I didn't look, but if you're gonna have somebody else do this tedious kind of work for you, it's probably gonna cost you. So why not just take a pack of slap of baby backs, do it your damn self, you know? So I'm gonna fast forward and I'm gonna get the rest of these banged out. All right, so we deboned our baby backs here. See how we got these nice, big, thick pieces of meat all the way through? It's fine, Kaylee. My daughter's cooking breakfast, so. What are you making?
Tofu eggs.
Tofu eggs. Mmm. So, anyway, now we can see exactly what we want. So now we're gonna cut these guys out. So down here, you know, we have some cartilage, stuff like that. So we're just gonna have to just go about. So I'm gonna run the blade through this side here. That one's gonna be a little ugly. Run the blade here. See what we're ending up with? Nice little pieces of pork, nice marbling inside, all the fat. You know, it's like, you know, some are thinking, oh man, it seems like a lot of work. Why not just make ribs? But if you think about it, how can you beat, because these are gonna stiffen up, these are gonna be like little fingers. How can you beat baby back ribs with a bark and crust all the way around them, full of flavor, all the fat crispening up, things like that, and then just dunk them in like a nice sauce or something? Damn, man, come on. That's why. So I'm just gonna run these just like that. I'm gonna keep them all to one side, so that way I have the big center chunk the side pieces, just like that. I'm not going to trim. So now we're getting down into these ends here with these thicker parts. I'm thinking we can separate them now, because now we have a lot more meat that was going to be laying on the bone. So we got this guy here. We got this nice big centerpiece. We got this guy here. A nice centerpiece. Now we'll just start cutting them down. This here is a lot of fat, and there is some meat up here. So I'm just gonna take this guy just like that. I'm trying to keep them consistent, you know? Now we're in the fat end, so we can get a few out of these guys down here. No matter how you slice it, these things are gonna be so good. So now I'm just gonna take my liberties here, make some fingers out of these guys over here. Try not to let them roll out from underneath me. There we go. Beautiful. So there we got our little fingers going on, all that other good stuff. So now what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay these out. So I want to give them a little bit of rub beforehand, and then we're going to bag these, and I want them to sweat in. I want that flavor to kind of build up. I want flavor all the way through these things, man. So all that stuff's gonna render. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. So what I'll do is I'm gonna grab a bag. So I have it on hand, because my hands are about to get real messy. So then I just whipped up just a simple. I got 2 tablespoons of Kashmiri mirch. It's like a Indian paprika chili powder. Super good. It actually has flavor as opposed to, you know, paprika. Paprika is typically color, man, you know. This does have some flavor to it, a little bit of heat, a little bit of sweetness. And then we got a tablespoon of garlic, granulated garlic, tablespoon of onion, granulated onion. We have a tablespoon of salt, tablespoon of pepper, teaspoon of celery seed, and a teaspoon of cayenne. So we're just gonna give these guys some love. Get a nice coat on them. Come on and join you in a minute, dear.
I want to interrupt your video.
It's all right. Pick up whatever I dropped on the board a little bit. Open these things up. I want flavor everywhere. Plus I want bark everywhere. I want crust. We're gonna go a little bit low and slow on these at first. And then we're gonna crank them up a little bit, probably around the 325 mark or so. And get a little crispy to them, you know, once we get some of that fat rendered down and they start taking form. Just like that. Man, that's what I'm talking about. Give them a little here and there. Just make sure we got a nice coat on these guys. I'm cleaning, oiling, and conditioning my board today. It's past due, so that's why I don't care that I'm doing pork on it right now. So, all right. Hit my hands real quick. And let's bag these guys. Just like that. Try to make a spot. Take a spot. All right. No air these. Bleed it all out of there nice and good. Just like that. All right, so I'm gonna toss these guys in the fridge. Just let them hang out for a couple hours. All right, guys. It's 10 o'clock. I'm figuring, you know, probably gonna take a couple of hours. So I wanna make sure that they're nice and rendered. Then I wanna get them nice and crispy. So I'm giving it a couple hours. But, so we're gonna fire this guy up. Use a SmokeFire today. I got stuff to do. Should have plenty of pellets. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go at 250 and just let these guys go for a little while. Get some smoke in them, you know, all that other good stuff. And then what we'll do, once we get a nice little color, nice bark, we see some rendering happening, then I'm going to finish them off at 325. Turn them a couple of times, you know, get them really, you know, try to crispen them up a little bit, things like that. So I have the remainder of them Bear Mountain. I'm not exactly sure what flavor they are. I think they're like competition blend or I don't know, some nonsense. But I used them on what the hell did I make the other day? And it all blends together. But anyway, I used Smoke Boost for the entire time. So I don't think it's a real fair comparison to do that because I've noticed a little bit of inconsistency in the burn of them and a substantial amount of ash compared to the lumberjacks. So this will be the first time I'm using them kind of normally. So I'll be able to, you know, kind of compare them to, you know, the amount of ash and, you know, things like that. Smoke Boost just kind of works a little bit differently. So, you know, and that was, I'm kind of new to it also. So I can't really, I don't know, can't really give my opinion on them. Flavor, you know, I mean, it was fair. I don't know. I don't think they beat lumberjack. I honestly don't. The lumberjack pellets just are, they're great with flavor, but it could be the combo too. Because the lumberjacks, I usually use oak and char hickory and blend them together. And to me, it's just, it's awesome. And it's about as close as I can get, especially, you know, with the flavor that the SmokeFire puts out. The lumberjacks just do a great job. So, but anyway, I'm gonna let this get up to 250, get the grates cleaned, and we'll toss them on there, throw some smoke on these guys. We're chugging along. We're at 250. Let's do this. Here we got them, and look at the color on that thing, guys. Here, I'll bring you over here. Get you into the thick of it. I'm gonna take these guys. And I'm gonna go right across. I'm gonna try to keep some shape to them, give them some space. Get some nice smoke around them. I mean, this thing, it doesn't really make that much of a difference since everything comes up from the bottom, but still want gap. So we're gonna go just like that. Oh man, it's awesome. I seriously cannot even wait to eat these things, guys. Ooh, get in there. Get in there. You want some of that? I guess we'll put one here and one here then. Even it out a little. All right, guys, that's it. That's what we got popping. So I'm gonna let these guys soak it up. We'll check on them in like an hour. See what happens. See what they look like. But I wanna make sure I get a good render on them things. You know, I wanna start breaking that stuff down. Then we'll pump it up, you know? So baby backs can handle heat. You know, I've done plenty of hot and fast ribs with baby backs, and you know, their texture is different, but it's fantastic, man. So that's kind of what I'm going for with this, but I want to get some nice flavor in them things. I want to get some nice rendering going and just kind of just start building up a little bit, you know, building up that bark. And then we'll get some crispy going on, you know. Well, we'll try to anyway. Shouldn't be too hard, especially with a lower temp like this, drying everything out, rendering everything inside. We should be able to get a real nice crispy outside. Maybe some of that fat will, you know, crackling up, you know, that kind of stuff. So, all right, I'm gonna let these go. We'll check on them. All right, so it's been about 45 minutes, closer to an hour actually. Check it out. Oh man, look at that. Some nice looking color right there. So let's get some moisture in her. Got a nice set on that bark. Should be able to handle a pretty decent spritz here. Just some apple cider vinegar. So I'm gonna keep them going. Want to let them roll a little bit more, get some flavor in there. So I'm gonna let them go for, I don't know, probably another hour, and then we'll crank it up. Guys, second hour's been up. They've been on for 2 hours. Now typically I don't peek until I turn the camera on because I don't edit, I don't do any of that stuff. It's too much work. Blah, you know. I record a video clip, I put them all together in iMovie, and I upload it, man. That's how I do it. But I had to peek just because I could smell this smell coming out of here, and I peeked. Check this out. Seriously. I'm gonna just grab this guy right here. Look at this thing. Look at that. Now, check this out. Zero resistance at all going into these things. I mean, they are crazy tender right now. So now I want to crisp them up. So what I'm going to do is, first off, let's give these guys a little bit of love. Get some liquid on them. Nice, good amount. We got a nice bark built. It should definitely hold up. Not to mention we're about to hit them with some heat. Let's give them a little love there. And I'm gonna set this guy. We're gonna bump it up. And I'm gonna go 350. I was gonna go 325, but as tender as they are right now, I want them to crisp and start rendering as fast as possible just to get that bark going on before we start getting them over, you know what I mean? So 350, I'm gonna let them go probably about 25, 30 minutes. We'll come back. I have a feeling we should be pretty close by it around then. You know, so we're probably looking at a total 2.5 hours, something like that. And then we'll get them off there. But we'll check in about a half an hour, see what we're looking at. All right, guys, so it's been 15 minutes into our 30. Thinking probably a good idea to flip them. Make sure we're even on both sides, you know, get texture on both sides. And we're throwing some serious heat down at the bottom. So let's give these guys a flip, see what they look like. I haven't peeked this time, so. Oh man, look at that. Look at those things taking on them color and all that. Oh man, I'm excited. All right, I'm gonna give them a spritz before I flip them. Give them a little loving. Let's do this. Oh yeah, look at that. Jeez, that's what I'm talking about. Talk about rib candy. Rib candy, even your fingers. They're holding together. Actually, better than I thought they were going to. I mean, I knew they would tighten up, but they are, they're holding together quite well. And just beautiful little finger nuggets of baby back ribs, man. Come on. Is there really anything else you need? Just like so. And give them some love on this side. Woohoo! Steam them up, baby. All right. I'm gonna let them go for the other 15 minutes. I think we're right on there on that mark. I think they should be pretty good by then. So we'll be back. All right, guys. It's been 30 minutes. Check them out. Definitely done. They look awesome. So we're gonna kill this guy. And let's take him out, shall we? Man. Just look unreal. Look at these things, guys. Come on. All right, I'm gonna bring them in. Just gonna let them sit for, I don't know, 5 minutes, because I'm sure they're screaming hot right now. Just let them settle down a little bit, and then let's see what we got. All right, guys. Excited to check these out. Look at them. Man, those are good. Figured no way to dip it. Some Blues Hog, Tennessee Red here. Let's dig in, shall we? Take this little guy right here. Check it out. Still moist inside there. Holy shit, there's a smoke ring. What do you know? Tender. Give them a little love. Look at that. Wow. That is the ultimate finger food right there, guys. Check this out. Oh, man. Wow. You sure you don't want to try this, Kaylee? This will seriously make you turn from vegan.
I like my quesadilla.
Check that out. Damn. All right. Wow. Little nuggets of love. This is straight awesome. All right. Now you guys like time. We're looking at about 2.5 hours, but remember, it could be different, you know? Before you kick the heat up, probe them out. They're nice and tender, nice and soft. You get no, resistance. Crank it up. If not, give it a little more time. So, but, all right, that's all I got.